Hello everybody from the road. I am on the road today, but I thought I would be efficient and make a video while working. So today I'm going to explain the 3 different levels and misconceptions sometimes people use or say regarding our kids and the levels they're on. Here today on Autism Dad. Hello everyone, I'm back. I'm in a Goodwill parking lot, and I'm going to do a quick video today on the 3 levels of autism that we all know about, and we all talk about low and high functioning. But I wanted to actually break down the clinical terms because I went to my wife and I said, I'm going on YouTube and I see a lot of videos on high functioning, low functioning, mild functioning, but I don't know if those are the actual clinical terms. So I asked my wife, and of course the little encyclopedia that she is, she was like, no, those are not. So I read an article and I got educated on it, and I just wanted to share with new parents that might be going through that season where your child's being diagnosed, or you think they should be diagnosed, or if they're just past their diagnosis. And then it can help you figure it out. And again, a diagnosis does not mean anything. Your kid's still your kid. We love our kids, but it just helps understand their situation and what you need to do as parents. So instead of high and low, the 3 levels are mild, which is level 1, that's the highest. Level 2 is moderate, which is in the middle. And level 3 is severe, which most people just say low, okay? And with level 1, the generic stereotype of level 1 just means they need less help or support. They can get by on day to day. They can do a lot of things independently, and eventually they will grow up and live on their own. They might have sensory issues, stimming still, things like that, but they're much, much more independent and don't need your help as they get older. Whereas level 3, you need a great deal of help, or they need a great deal of help, and that would be Jaden. Jaden has severe autism, he has a mental disability, and he has verbal apraxia. Which, if you guys don't know what verbal apraxia, it basically affects your speech. So in the brain, they're wanting to say certain things, but the brain does not allow those words to come out exactly like they want. So it's very hard for them and the parents, and it's just frustrating all around. So Jay, unfortunately, has 3 diagnoses, which puts him on the severe end of the spectrum. And we knew that early on. So that's our situation with Jay, and he is 11 if you're new to the channel. But the 4, real quick, the 4 things that doctors determine all of these levels on are these 4 things. 1, communication. Very obvious. A pretty big tell from early on. Mama, dada, we're used to that with our typical kids. But if you're noticing a lack of communication, at age 2 and 3, then there's some flags, and those are tells that you should be looking for. So that's what doctors look for. They see where they are at communication wise. So then level 1, 2, or 3, yada yada yada, they figure that out. Number 2, adapt to new situations. This makes sense because Jaden is severely autistic, and till this day he's 11, and he will react the exact same way to certain situations he reacted 2 years ago. And instead of adapting and learning how to adjust to those things and coping with them better, he's the same reaction almost every single time. And that's because he's kind of focused here and he has tunnel vision, and he's just not able to. Whereas level 1 kids are going to be able to figure it out and be like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't do this or that to make sure that does not happen. So there's the second one, adapt to new situations. Number 3 is expand beyond interest. Now I'm going to use Jaden again as a reference because he's on the severe end. So, for example, Jaden's interests are food, music, and then certain sensory like swings, okay? Those are his go-tos, and they have been for 11 years. And he does not go too far beyond that. Of course he has other interests, but he stays pretty much in his lane. Whereas if you're on level 1, if you are level 1 or level 2, you branch out over time. You venture off, you try new things, you don't get scared, you're more open-minded, things like that. Again, so that's number 3, expand beyond interest. And number 4, which is a pretty big one and an obvious one, is can you manage daily life? Can you live on your own eventually? Can you be independent? Can you do things without assistance constantly? So, for example, level 1 need less and less help and support as they get older. And eventually they can be mainstreamed, or they can be mainstreamed from the beginning, and you hope that your child should be able to live an independent life. Though they're in level 1, they might still have stimming issues or sensory issues, but they're much more independent, and again, they need less help. Whereas level 3, on the extreme end, they need a great deal of support and help. And I'm going to reference Jaden again, because that's our situation. Jaden constantly needs help. He needs help getting dressed. He needs help going to the bathroom. All the little daily life skills that most people can figure out over time. Level 3 kids will always struggle with that. And normally, if you're level 3 and you're severe, you will be living with a caregiver, whether it's your parents, your brothers and sisters or siblings, someone the rest of your life. Because again, there's not just autism, there's normally other diagnoses going on in that body and in that poor brain, unfortunately. And then Jay is like a perfect storm of all 3. But God bless him. We love him so much. He is who he is, and we accept him for, who he is, and we know that we're taking care of him the rest of his life, and we are okay with that. He's still our little angel, guys. And it's, but for people who have kids on the 1 and 2 levels, here's another trick, or not a trick, but something interesting I read in the article, that clinical doctors struggle to even label between 1 and 2 sometimes, and 2 and 3, especially with 1 and 2, because mild and moderate are very, very close. There's just certain characteristics that are different, with sensory issues, maybe with stimming, with communication, but even the doctors have problems. So here's what I would say to new parents, and the biggest advice I can give you is be open-minded, be positive, speak life into your child and the situation, because it is not a stamp on them. This label is not a stamp. So the article talked about, and it makes sense, and I've always thought this way. Let's say your kid is level 2, diagnosed at level 2 at age 3. By age 8 or 9, because you got the proper assistance, you got him in programs, you got him all this help, he is now level 1, and he's mild. And now he's more independent, and now he's doing this on his own. Things can change over time, and even from severe to moderate can happen. Not as often, but our kids on the spectrum can change from their original diagnosis. So they can go from here to here, or they can go from here all the way to here. Anything's possible, but understand that when your child's severe, there's less chance of growth. And I'm not being a pessimist. This is just my 11 years of experience of everything we've done for Jaden. Because he has multiple things going on, his brain is how it is. But if it's level 1 or 2, please, parents, get on the ball and help your children as much as possible in those early sponge-like years to help them grow, progress, and succeed in all aspects of life, because they can grow out of from moderate to mild. And that's the best thing we can do for our kids. That's the only thing we can control, is just give them the best chance for success, right? That's it. You can't control their autism, right? That doesn't define who they are. It's just a label. Control all the things you can't control. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching of Autism Dead in a Car. Yeah, I do whatever I can. So if you liked the video at all, if you learned anything, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe down below. I would love to have you follow along on our family journey and all the kooky, crazy videos that we do. We try to do educational, we try to do fun, and we try to do real life struggle videos that come with life and autism combined. Gotta keep it real, guys. Gotta keep it real. It's not all smiles, right? So thank you so much for following along on this video. And if you're still here, thank you. And I hope you got something from it. All right, till next time. See ya. Take care. Bye.